Hey guys, I'm just starting out, honestly, just devastated from watching Ilya Topuria get absolutely battered. And everything that he said leading up to this fight just absolutely collapsing on itself. Now, props to Gaethje, amazing game plan coming out, did his thing, showed incredible heart. Um, but man, and this is coming from a huge Topuria fan, watching him from the start. Honestly, I am just so devastated. Now I know how it feels when Volk got knocked out, when Charles got knocked out, when Max got knocked out, for all you fans like that. But taking it on a deeper level, this loss just feels so much worse because everything Topuria even just drew up throughout this fight and everything he said up to this point about anyone completely just collapsed on itself. Man, I'm on the verge right now of just like losing it, and I could come up with so many excuses and whatnot, but in the end, he just got beat, man. And it's that crazy that MMA math just doesn't work at all. And what's even crazier is I think Topuria, honestly, the moment he started to wilt in that first round, when I saw him cover his eye like this, I kind of knew he was going to lose. And I'll tell you why. First off, his whole game plan, it looked, it didn't even look like we were watching Ilya Topuria. And I've watched all his fights numbers of times. I don't know whether it was the coaching, just a bad game plan, or just him straight out just trying to think he's God and could just knock Gaethje out in one punch. Now, taking it from a perspective where I'm not just coping here, Topuria did absolutely worse in terms of just technique that I've ever seen him in a fight. There was no head movement. There was no slips off the jabs like he did against Volkanovski. Like, you guys can't tell me that he looked like how he fought against Charles, Max, Volk, Emmett, Bryce Mitchell, all these guys. I know that they're not Justin Gaethje, but you'd think that going up against a power puncher, a brawler like Gaethje, who's even more wild, I'd say, than Josh Emmett, and you compare the fighting styles of Topuria versus Emmett when he did that, when he had his Philly shell that he was working with against Gaethje, he was just in front of him with no technique whatsoever, honestly. It was like he was fighting like he had the Thanos gauntlet or something. I don't know. And I think this humbling experience for Topuria is honestly, now that I think of it, that it's good for his career because he lost in a way where he didn't get knocked out, which is good, but it showed how bad he can get beaten to a pulp where it feels even worse than a knockout almost. To where he hits so rock bottom that he can come back. But I don't know how it's looking right now because if I was him, man, I would like toss everything out right now. Just shut off all the socials, everything. And you just got to feel for, I mean, his kid, his whole family, the way he drew up a party again before. the fight was even over. And man, he's got to feel so ashamed. He's probably got a broken rib too from that knee at the end by Gaethje of the round 4. But let's break down this fight, honestly. Okay. Gaethje came out. He came out very cautious. He did exactly what he said he was going to do, which was to go out and extend the fight. He wasn't going to go into a straight brawl in the first round like Topuria honestly thought it was going to be. And the calf kicks, honestly, Topuria does well against calf kicks like he usually does, timing that right hand, which is probably the only good thing that he did in terms of countering Gaethje. But Gaethje, smart game plan. Trevor Whitman, again, one of the best coaches, coming in with that game plan of the takedown into the clinch to the uppercut. The takedown was only to set up the clinch for the uppercut, which is extremely smart. That's honestly what messed up Ilya's eyes, were those uppercuts and the jab. Okay, that jab was very, very money. And then the sneaky right hand. The speed of Gaethje honestly looked a lot quicker than he usually does. He looked in great shape, honestly. Very, very phenomenal shape. Some of the best shape of his life. Okay. Topuria, on the other hand, he's stalking him down. And his hands, they're a bit lower than they usually are. He didn't have much of a defensive shell like he usually does. If you guys watch against Volkanovski, against Max, where he kind of does more of a shoulder roll, he did that at the end where he started to gas a lot. But, man, no head movement yet again. The jab was hitting him nearly every single time. And then, I don't know, I think he just got into so much pressure as every second went on that he just had to headhunt in his head because mentally he just collapsed, honestly. Mentally collapsed. And that, honestly, I think winded him along with the shots. And again, I mean, he did throw some calf kicks. It seems like there was a bit of a game plan of him being, I want to say patient, but he wasn't being defensively patient, which was the problem. Like, he usually is shelled up really well. But, man, I don't know if his cardio was just not there. I mean, we've seen him go 5 rounds. We've seen him go into some wild exchanges, like the Bryce Mitchell fight, for example. He got taken down at the end of round 1, whatnot. Went through a bit of a strikes sequence from Mitchell. And then we see him almost looks like he gets winded when he's on his back foot. But out of nowhere, he gets this burst of energy where he pancakes Bryce Mitchell and then subs him. Now, against Gaethje in that second round where he just started swinging wild, he had him hurt with the liver shots, body shots, and then just swinging wild. I thought that chasing the submission, he would have a burst of energy like he did against Mitchell, where he finished him with that arm triangle. But he looked so gassed, guys. He could not even get into position. He did a great scramble, took Gaethje's back into the armbar, but he had zero strength to even get the armbar at all. Zero stamina. He looked so depleted. His foot movement looked so sluggish at the end of that second round that, man, I think his whole body just kind of just gave up as soon as his mental got completely destroyed. That being said, honestly, I think Topuria should take some time off to recover. He might have actually suffered a broken rib injury, the eye injuries, and I think he should really focus on getting his mental right, meaning going back to his old coaches. Because if you guys didn't notice, he did switch coaches. This was after his Holloway fight. He switched coaches. Um, his whole training camp in Spain, where he moved to a different city, and I don't think they're doing a great job in terms of game planning. They're keeping him like physically peak, strong, fast, quick, but in terms of like game plan and skill, it's not there. I know his brother is the one that coaches him mainly, but I don't know if Ilya was listening. Also, the ego got in the way, and the conditions, the environment, I felt like also played a bit of a part. He didn't look like stupid confident like he usually does. If you guys look at his walkout, maybe I'm just coping. The sound of his walkout, I honestly was disappointing. His walkout was so much more trash than it usually was with the live music and all that. Um, but and the haircut. I think he's gonna be so embarrassed right now, so ashamed, and this is gonna be the toughest part for him is to bounce back right now because he is absolutely rock bottom at 0. And I'm honestly devastated, guys, because again, just seeing your favorite fighter that you've defended for so long and everything he does, who seems unstoppable, not only look human, but get the beats put on them so bad. Like, oh my gosh, his face literally looked like he got punched by brass knuckles. Like he was in an alley and he gets jumped by a bunch of guys with brass knuckles. That's what it looked like. And oh, on top of that, Alex Pereira, man, oh my gosh. I think that's what made it even worse. Having two superstars like that who are just so loved, at least for on Pereira's part, just looks so human. It looks so beatable. Further or not, this was more of kind of just a coping video. Again, this is a whole new YouTube where I'll be breaking down fights. And I will make another video on post-fight analysis without all the coping part on the rest of these fights for most of them on the so let's say the I just lost my train of thought. Anyways, I'll be breaking down the Topuria Gaethje fight in another video. Same with the Gon and Pereira fight. And then comment down if you guys want a analysis of the fights underneath. I might as well do those as well too. But if you guys enjoyed this video of my coping, and also feel like you want to just fall asleep and not wake up and wish this was all a dream, hit that follow button, subscribe button, comment, like, share, make fun of me. Man, All right, I'll see you in the next one.